people are currently asking the White House to make it a law, to make it official and required, that people who receive corporate donations and large donations from individuals wear logos that make it clear to the public who is funding their campaigns. We've sort of joked about that before, and apparently now it's made it to the internet. So let's read a little bit of the petition so you understand what's going on here. It says, since most politicians' campaigns are largely funded by wealthy companies and individuals, it would give voters a better sense of who the candidate they are voting for is actually representing if the company's logo or individual's name was prominently displayed upon the candidate's clothing at all public appearances and campaign events. The size of a logo or name would vary with the size of a donation. For example, a $1 million contribution would warrant a patch of about 4 inches by 8 inches on the chest, while a free meal from a lobbyist would be represented by a quarter-sized button.
I love the idea.
I love the idea too. I don't know how, whether or not they're kidding or if they're being serious, but I like the idea of being more transparent if you're a politician. All of us know that our politicians are bought, but it would be great to go to some sort of website. And I know these websites exist, but sometimes it's more complicated than it needs to be. And you could just say, oh, look, this individual donated this much money. This corporation donated that much money. There's not a lot of transparency when it comes to this issue. And something like this basically pushes for that transparency. So I love it.
Well, I don't see how they can actually do it in real life. It's just, it would be completely unworkable because there's no way that you could actually even wear an article of clothing with the amount of money that's in politics right now. When the limitation is what, personal $2,000 for individuals is I think the limit per 6 months or whatever. So with that, you'd have to have so many patches all over you that they just wouldn't be wearing clothes. And maybe that's what we need to see. But I love the idea. I wish they were easier to use, those websites. I wish people knew more about them, like Open Secrets. Those would be fabulous if we could have a better representation from every single candidate who their sponsors are. But
that would be great. And by the way, I should note something about these White House petitions. Originally, you would just need 25,000 people to sign a certain petition for the White House to respond, but so many people were proposing so many ridiculous things that now they increased the signatures the threshold to 100,000 signatures. But one of my favorite joke petitions was one calling for President Barack Obama to change the national anthem to R. Kelly's 2003 hit Ignition remix.
Oh God, I'm surprised the Fox News didn't run with this. That's his plan. That's what he's going to do.
Well, I think that song fills everyone with patriotic pride and joy, right? Well, the
Hot
one
and fresh off the kitchen, Mama rolling that body. Hell yeah, that totally makes me feel patriotic.
Well, the one thought I have is, it seems obviously practically it doesn't work, but I love the idea of the patches, and it would be most sort of important when somebody's taking a real strong stand, like if Chuck Schumer is saying no, we can't have taxes higher on the banks or whatever it is, but his then he'd have his JP Morgan, his Goldman Sachs, all those things. So I think what our desire to see, and this is coming through the petition, underscores the failure of the media, because any time a politician takes a strong stand on a particular issue, that should be the very first thing that is disclosed by the media, that okay, so this person, Peter King is taking this very strong stand. However, his biggest donor also happens to have a stake in this fight. It seems very straightforward, but I think it's a representation of how desperate of a situation we're in. That we have no idea. That should, the media should essentially be putting those patches on people.
In the scenario that you mentioned, Schumer would literally have JP Morgan on his ass. So I like that.
But then you'd have to look at his ass in order to see the patch.
That's true, and
so
that would be unfortunate.
Who wants to do that? What we really need is pop-up video, I think. Boom, this guy is...
As he's talking?
Yes, they're talking, the little pop-up stuff.
This message brought to you by JP Morgan.
Right.
The problem is that even with the way that the waistlines of America are expanding, I don't think there's enough chest or ass for most of these politicians to fit this many 4x8 little things. But it is an interesting idea. Unfortunately, the executive branch can't tell congressmen how they have to dress, so that makes it all the more impossible.
They have no choice.
But I think that it would certainly be, you mentioned Open Secrets, and you can find out the donations that people have, but it wouldn't be that hard, I think, to program a website that had pictures of these people, have that run through the donation history that we have available, and it should generate a picture where it puts the patches on them. I think that would make a much stronger, message to people.
Yeah, they would look like a NASCAR vehicle.
Or here's an idea, let's get money out of politics.
You're talking crazy. Let's go with the logos first, see how far that takes us.